Engine 2, stand by for emergency traffic.
Go ahead, Engine 2.
Oxnard Engine 2, a subject not breathing at 454, 454 South J. John. Run card is I-4, cross street is Woolley Road. Subject's a 42-year-old male. Information, he has a history of heart problems. Emergency medical dispatch in progress. Ambulance responding.
Oxnard Engine 2 responding.
Engine 2 responding. Oxnard Engine 1, Squad 1 injury accident. Victoria Avenue and Woolley Road. Run card is H3. 3 calls received. 1 RP advising a vehicle's overturned with 2 trapped victims. PD ambulance responding.
Oxnard Engine 1 responding. Would you just find one additional squad on this call?
Engine 1 responding. Captain 110.
Oxnard Squad 1 responding.
Squad 1 responding.
Welcome to Fireline. I'm your host, Richard Hodge. Tonight's show is on summer safety, water safety. We hope the 2 gentlemen we have with us tonight can make your summer a little bit safer. Through water safety program the City of Oxnard has, we have my guests tonight, I'll introduce them in a minute, it's Dan Gildea and David Barker, both veteran firefighters of the City of Oxnard Fire Department. But before we get into his, we have a recycling program going on, and these are the recycling containers. Any 6 fire departments, fire stations, you can pick one of these up free of charge. Last year, $29.95. This year, free of charge, and we'll even tell you where to get rid of them. So use them. Only 15% of the oils changed and recycled is only 15%. Recycle your oil, keep it out of the ocean. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Summertime, a time for fun, sun, and danger. Remember, only refuel your lawnmower when the engine is off and cool. When barbecuing, use only charcoal lighter fluid. Once the coals have been lit, never add more fuel to the fire. Remember that temperatures inside a parked car can be dangerously hot. Always test plastic or leather seats before placing a child into the car. And make sure to check the metal parts of the seatbelt before fastening. It's always a good idea to wear sandals or foot coverings. You can severely burn your feet on the hot sand or tarred pavement. When spending time in the sun, use a lotion with sunscreen. And make sure to follow the instructions on the label.
Whether it's a minor sunburn or a major injury, careless accidents can ruin summer fun. Hi, I'm Manuel Lopez, Mayor of Oxnard, hoping you'll enjoy the summer heat without getting burnt.
Welcome back to the Firehouse. I'd like to introduce my 2 guests tonight. David Barker, firefighter, Station 1.
Hello,
welcome
Richard.
to the show.
Thank you.
Dan Gildea, firefighter, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
David, 30 words or less or 30 seconds. Tell me something about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'd just like to thank you for having me back on the show. It's really nice to be back. There's a few things we've done, I've done myself in training is I've become a swift water technician, and I've also done some vertical training in vertical rescue technician level. It's vertical channels.
Tell me something about vertical channels real quick.
Well, actually, those are our local storm drains that go throughout the city, and when they get filled up with water, we've learned some rescue techniques that entail in those vertical channels.
He's been trained in storm drains.
That's right.
Dano, tell me something
Rich?
about yourself.
Well, as you know, I'm also work with Dave here at Station 1 at the fire department, and I've also gone through the same training Dave's also been through. Something that Dave didn't tell you is that he was also a lifeguard, or was a lifeguard, so we both have ocean experience. Myself,
Yeah.
I'm still a lifeguard out at Wainimi Beach during the summer months. So we both have a real close tie with the ocean, and that's why we're really involved with the water rescue type programs.
If you remember last year's show, David and Dan were on the show. We're all water people together, and this is kind of an update on what the city's doing now, and we're going to try to add more into it to make your summer a little bit safer. And my first guest that I want to talk to, and he's going to update you on what the city's doing, fire department program, to make your summer safer. Dano.
Well, let's see. Well, Station 6 has been designated the fire program focus station for water rescue, Richard. And in that capacity, they're involved with ongoing training within the local area with other agencies, including the Coast Guard and the Channel Islands Harbor Patrol, where we've had mutual aid type training with both departments in water rescue out at the beach there. As David mentioned, we've also been going through swiftwater rescue with many members of the department going up to not only the Kern River but also to Sylmar, to the LA Aqueduct, to train, as what Dave was telling you about the vertical channel type rescue, so we can be more prepared during the winter months in the city with the storm drains that we do have within the city here.
Tell us something about the local beaches, David.
Well, what we've also developed is a new program. Actually, it's our personal watercraft that Dan and I will go through later on in the program today. And it's actually going to be a helpful tool throughout the years to come here in Oxnard. So we're really excited about that. In the beaches, we're actually developing programs where we're working with the local harbor patrols and working for rescue techniques throughout the surf line and in some of the flat areas of the ocean, so we can make rescues safely with the tools that we have available to us.
Dan, what's some of the safest things we can do to make this summer safer for everyone?
Well, sadly to say, Richard, one of the highest percentages of drowning victims are ages 1 to 4. And where they drown most likely is in backyard swimming pools. And that's a fact. That's just where they drown. You know, and all we can do out at the beach, all we can do, but there's not much that we can do about backyard swimming pools. So through this program, we really like to get it out to the public that the backyard swimming pool is a real dangerous area for the 1 to 4 age children. And one of the things that is required is a 4-foot fence, and this will prevent the children from getting inside. And it also will have to have a self-closing gate with a latch that's at least 3.5 feet above the ground, so the little guys can't get in there and get into the pool. But what it comes down to really, Richard, is just basic adult supervision. Unfortunately, I don't have any children myself, but I know Dave's kids, and boy, they get around quick. And all it takes is that 1 second to go answer the phone, go check what you have on the stove, or whatever it takes. It's just that split second, and that'll be the difference.
So people should really be aware. Unattended children around pools is one of the most dangerous situations that we can be in this summer.
Absolutely.
For children 1 to 5. Because I know that I went on a few calls, and it's not fun resuscitating some child that might remind you of your own child, and you're trying to bring them back to life, and all it was a mother or father looked a different way for just a few seconds, and the kid was at the bottom of the pool.
That's right.
It's terrible.
David, you got something to tell me about buckets?
Well, I sure do. If you could lift up the bucket here.
I got the bucket.
There's also a dangerous situation when you're out washing your car or during the rainy months. If you'll turn it around a little bit more in this direction, maybe
this way.
The audience can see that. There's a warning now on buckets that children from toddler age can actually lean over, and they like to play in the buckets. But what happens is, as they're playing in the buckets, their equilibrium, they can fall in the buckets and they can't get out, and they actually drown inside the buckets. And so it's another thing where you need to empty the buckets when you're done using them with water, and always keep an eye on your toddlers around the buckets.
You know, this is something I don't think you would think about.
No, most people don't think about it.
A child drowning in a bucket.
Yeah, and it's happened actually a couple times here in the city where we've gone on a call with children that we actually had to pull the child out of the bucket when we were on scene, so it was quite a scary moment.
It's got to be a serious problem if the federal government mandates you put this on buckets.
Yes.
Because it's not only a cost, but you know, it could remind you. I've been on one call in my career with a child drowned in a bucket, but it's not fun.
No, it's terrible.
Dano, tell me something else.
Well,
I'm looking at your schedule. Come on, tell me about it.
Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about the other age group of children that we have. We have 1 to 4, which is where the little guys that get around, and those are the ones you really got to keep your eye on. And then we go into an older bracket, let's say 10 to 14. This is the category that we call our risk takers. And most of the children that drown in these ages are males. So it's the boys, and it's that macho thing coming in. They're more of a risk taker. And when we talk about out at the beach, we really want to talk about when we're going out there is to make sure that the adults set their kids up right, and they'll go out and they'll get themselves their bodyboard, And what you really want to make sure, parents, is that you have a real good, strong leash on it. This goes around their wrists, and this keeps the board with them if they're to fall off. And that's pretty much as far as the parents go, and then they send them on their way. But the real important thing is to have these fins.
I'm going to have to stop you right now. We're going to have to go to break, and we'll finish this as soon as we come back.
Every family should be prepared in the event of a fire in their house.
Troops?
This means making sure all the family members know how to exit the house and under different situations when the smoke alarm sounds. How to check a closed door for heat before opening it. Making sure everyone knows how to stay as low to the floor as possible when there's smoke in the house. If you have a two-story house, you should have an escape ladder and know how to use it. And remember, every good escape plan should include a meeting place a safe distance away from the house.
Planning your escape in case of fire doesn't have to be a military drill. Hi, I'm Manuel Lopez, Mayor of Oxnard, urging you and your family to develop an effective escape plan. Be smart and safe. Don't get caught with no way out.
Welcome back to the firehouse. I rudely interrupted Dan and right in the middle of his boogie board. So we're going to go back to Dan. Dan, finish telling us about the boogie board and fins.
Okay, well, as I was saying, Richard, the parents usually go out and they buy themselves, the children, the body board, and that's pretty much where it stops, and then they send them on their way out into the ocean. But the key ingredient that they're forgetting for their own children's safety are what Dave's holding right here, are the swim fins. Because without the swim fins, you're basically, you have no power kicking in the water. And probably 90% of the rescues that we perform down at Hueneme Beach, and I'm sure all the other beaches, is bodyboarders without swim fins.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. What happens is they're floating on the surface of the water, and they actually don't have any propellant to kick themselves. So they get sucked right out into the rip currents, and it takes them right out, and then the parents are stuck on shore waving, and if there's no lifeguards on the beach, then no one will be able to get to the children, and they get just taken out, and then they fall off their boogie boards, and they really have a problem. So the idea is to have the fins so they have some type of propellant behind them.
Because you don't have any fins, your little feet's not going to move the boogie board.
That's right.
Matter of fact, Dan Gildea brought in some rip current films, and I would like you to show those films, and Dan would narrate them. Go.
Okay, Rich, what we have here is, this happens to be Hueneme Beach here on a south swell. Hueneme is a south-facing beach, and as you can see in the video here, the white water out there that seems to go out going from your left to right, that white water in the middle of the picture there, that is a rip current. And this is where the people get caught. And the way rip currents are formed is there's a depression in the sand there. It's almost like a channel on the bottom. And the water comes in on those waves, and it looks for the least amount of resistance to recede back into the ocean, and that's how they find it, through these channels in the sandbars. So what you have there is basically a river going out to sea. And this is where the problem gets when we have children on these bodyboards without fins. There's no way they can outkick that. But the key to remember is just to stay calm and to kick parallel to the current. If you were to kick parallel to the shore, you'd be able to get right out of this rip current here with no problem at all. And if you do become fatigued and tired, go ahead and raise your hand. Hopefully you're swimming at, number one rule obviously is to swim at a lifeguarded beach, and raise your hand and let the lifeguards know that you are in trouble.
Rip currents are real powerful over Hueneme.
It's probably 90% of our, I'll say 80% of the rescues, or actually of drownings, are in the ocean, are caused by rip currents.
And tired swimmers.
Tired swimmers.
The key I'd like to bring up is to remember to swim parallel with the shoreline. You need to get out of the rip current. As long as you swim along the shoreline, you should get out of the rip current. So you don't want to fight the current, because if you swim in too hard, you're just going to get tired and wear yourself out. So you need to relax and swim parallel to the shoreline. And that's along the shore.
Yeah, you can't get out of a rip current by swimming into it.
No, you sure can't.
It's like trying to swim upriver.
That's right. It's like a river. Actually, it's almost like what we call a Class 3 river, where we rate classes in different levels to how fast they're going. And the rip currents here along Oxnard beaches and along Port Hueneme beaches are very dangerous and very strong.
Well, we all surf at the same place at Silver Strand, and the rips are real bad. But we use them to our advantage because we all know the rips. So you get on them and you go out, and as lifeguards, when you go to save somebody, Dana, what do?
Oh, use the rip currents. That's the quickest way out to your victims, out through the surf. Another point that I wanted to make is that right now in springtime in the surf is a real critical point on the beaches out here, because what we're seeing is a big swing in the swell direction. During the winter months, we have the swell mostly coming out of the west, and so the beach is set up for the west swell. Well, now come summer, we've got some swells coming out of the south. And so it changes the bottom, and right now there's a lot of inshore holes, what we call inshore holes, another danger. And when these inshore holes occur, and they can be anywhere from 5 to 6 feet deep, and the little guys get out there again and they'll go under right away. So it's real important for the parents to be aware of these inshore holes. There's a lengthy inshore hole that runs all along Oxnard shores, and it's over my head, I know that.
Yeah.
I think a few of our guys last couple of weeks have found out about the inshore hole over Oxnard Shores. I did. It was lots of fun. We did a little training out there, a little swimming, but the rip currents are very dangerous, and like Daniel said, you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's right.
How much does water temperature play?
As far as draining the body of energy, someone that's not used to the water temperature can really, it'll basically just suck all the energy right out of you if you're thrown into it, and then you go into some stages of hypothermia. I think the most important thing that we really want to get out to the public in the show here today is to swim at a lifeguarded beach.
That's right.
And I've got a list of basically unguarded beaches that I know are unguarded. And they include, starting from the south of the county, Ormond Beach is an unguarded beach. Working our way north, we have the Oxnard State Park is an unguarded beach. And moving further north, we also have Oxnard Shores, another unguarded beach, all the way to the Edison plant at Mandalay Beach. Now from McGrath Beach has state lifeguards. Okay, as we work our way north again, we come to what's referred to as South Jetty or Surfer's Knoll. And this area here is another real bad area for rip currents. And once again, unguarded beach. And then the last and final beach there would be the Marina Park area. And these two areas have been known to, there's been quite a few drownings there through the years, and it's a very dangerous place.
Large rip currents.
So if you're a family, you have a family and you want to go to the beach, go to a lifeguarded beach. Ventura State has lifeguards from 10 to 6 daily, Memorial Day through Labor Day. Ventura County, which includes Silver Strand and Hollywood Beach, starts lifeguarding services on June 27th through Labor Day. And then finally, you have Hueneme Beach, which is...
Sign me up!
Yeah, Memorial Day through Labor Day, once again at Hueneme Beach, 10
That's
to 6.
You can work
Where are you working, Dan?
I'm working at Hueneme Beach and also State Magoo.
Hey,
Well, that'll be good.
man, save your life. We got a break, but we'll be right back.
While cooking can be fun, it can also be dangerous. The following tips can help you and your family prevent unwanted burns and injuries. If children are present, keep them away from hot liquids. Turn pot handles away from their reach or use rear burners. And always cover pots and pans with appropriate lids. Hot grease can not only cause severe burns, but it can easily start a fire. Always have a fire extinguisher in a convenient location. If a burn should occur, never apply butter or oil. Cool a burn with cold running tap water. For serious burns, seek medical attention immediately. When using the microwave, read and carefully follow the directions on the back of the package. Use microwave-safe dishes and containers, and always use a pot holder.
Kitchen safety is no laughing matter. Hi, I'm Manuel Lopez, Mayor of Oxnard. Keep your cool in the kitchen. Be smart and safe. Don't get burned.
Sorry.
Welcome back to the Firehouse. I'm here with my two guests, firefighter Dan Gildea and firefighter David Barker. We're here with Oxnard's newest water rescue craft, and I would like Dan Gildea, the man who is solely responsible for the research and getting us this surf rescue vehicle at no cost to you, the taxpayers. Dan, tell us something about the Sea-Doo.
Well, this is a Sea-Doo, obviously, and it's been loaned to us by Barber RV of Ventura. And what it is, it's a public safety program, loan program through the RV department there. And what they do is they basically loan it to us for a year, and then we go ahead and we give it back to them, and they resell it to the public. And what it is, it's to open up the public relations without the department, so we can go ahead and find where the things are going on, so we know what's going on with the different agencies.
Well, I understand we're the only ones in the United States have one of these.
No, we're not, Richard. Actually, there's quite a few other departments. There's thousands actually throughout the United States that are in the same loan program.
So we're not as special as I thought we were?
No.
No,
I tell
you
you
know
what.
LA City Fire Department has, I think they have 4 of these, and they use them throughout their beach areas, and they also use them in some of their canals and some of their storm drains. As I mentioned, we went through some storm drain training earlier, so we had an opportunity to watch some of the training that's involved with working with these. The training we're going to get started with our Sea-Doo, our Bombardier Sea-Doo, and I'd like to thank Barber RV also, because it's a great opportunity to be able to work with a tool like this in the surf and throughout the city. The training we're going to do is actually an orientation. We're going to actually get started this month.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. Wouldn't that be great? And throughout the month of June, we're going to be working through a 24-hour program with the people that are going to learn how to ride and actually ride on the boards on the back and drive the Sea-Doos in the surf and wherever they may be needed, maybe in the canals, in the flat water, or the channels. So there's a lot of different uses. The 24-hour training we had people go through a run, swim, run to make sure they could actually swim through the surf and run on the beach and then swim again. So it was quite a difficult test for a lot of people to realize that, just to ride one of these, you can't just hop on and go. You have to be able to swim, and if you fall off, in the surf, you're going to have to be able to get back in without your Sea-Doo if something happens.
We're actually going through a surf rescue class with
That's right.
these. David, Dan, and I went to Swiftwater Rescue class, and we had several people. LA County has 6 of these they use, and they use them in the rivers. Barber RV, thank you very much. We hope to make you proud. And Sea-Doo, these are super watercraft. Being jet ski owner, which David and myself, I'm a jet ski owner, and I passed the test, but the only reason they wanted me is because I work on these things.
You did really well.
Yeah, Dano ran over me 3 times with his paddleboard while I was trying to get out of the water with a leg cramp. Did real well. Dano, tell us something else about this.
Well, Richard,
what's this thing on the back?
Well, this is actually what we call the sled, and this is where the rescue swimmer would be actually riding back here. You'd have your operator, and then you'd have your rescue swimmer. And the way the rescue swimmer would work is the operator would go at the victim, drop off the rescue swimmer, or actually they could do what we call a pick-off, and they could come around and the rescue swimmer would be holding on to it's almost like a large bodyboard back here, if you can see that. And he'd have his fins and his helmet on, and he would pick off the victim and put the victim onto the board, and then the operator would take off and they'd go back up onto the beach and rescue the victim.
Some of the keys that Dan's mentioning is this can be used for multiple rescues at a very quick pace. So what you can do is get out to the victims, reach them, pull them on the board and bring them ashore, and then make another rescue in a very short period of time. So there's a possibility of maybe a major ocean disaster or something like that where there's a large quantity of victims in the surf at one time, and you can actually pull a lot of people in very quick, 10, 15 people within a 5-minute time period.
If you remember, a few years back, we had a dive boat go over, 40 people in the water. This would have been great. We could have used this then.
Definitely.
And I really want to thank Barbara.
That's right.
Yeah,
Barbara
that one,
RV.
Barbara RV. Sorry for letting us use this, and we're going to take care of it, and hopefully if people get in trouble, we're going to save somebody with it.
That's right. There's some other uses we're going to have for it is maybe Dan, you might want to mention it's going to be used in our police dive rescue and recovery. There's lots of different ways it can be used. Maybe you want to go through a couple?
With the police fire dive team, what we're going to do is utilize the Sea-Doo to actually tow divers underwater in the channels of Mandalay Bay and through the channels, and also for doing search and recovery and evidence type searches. Another possibility is the going through the canals and just checking for leaking vessels and whatnot for any kind of diesel spills or hazardous materials within the channels of Mandalay Bay.
That's right. These can be used for booming operations and many other uses.
We would like to give the police dive fire rescue team, because the police helped us with this. We didn't have a trailer. We got the jet ski with no trailer, and actually Oxnard PD came up with the money for the trailer. Is that correct?
That's right.
It was actually the dive team.
The dive team.
Yes, dive team members and their dues paid for the trailer. So it's definitely it's going to be a multiple agency tool, and we like to call it a tool, and it's not a toy as a lot of people think. It's actually going to be a very versatile rescue tool.
Well, you've seen Baywatch. Baywatch uses them. Baywatch has 6 big boats. It costs 150 grand a piece, and we got a new Sea-Doo at no cost to you, the taxpayers. The men and women of the dive team and the fire department got together, and this is ours. We got a break, and we'll be right back.
Twas the holiday season, and all through the town, families were getting ready so their homes wouldn't burn down. Securely fastened and filled with water, your Christmas tree should be. A dry tree will burn more easily. Outdoor lights for outdoors are what you should use. UL-approved lights are the only ones you should choose. All cords should be checked and replaced, whether indoor or out. You'll surely prevent any danger, without a doubt. But remember, most of all, when you follow these clues, never overload your household circuits. You may blow a fuse. Decking the halls and trimming the tree, what a joyous treat. Make sure to keep flammables away from any source of heat. If leaving the house or resting your head, switch off the lights before going to bed. Happy holidays to all, and to all a good night.
Seasoned greetings from our family to yours. Hi, I'm Mike O'Leary with Oxnard Firefighters. Wishing you and your family a safe and happy holiday.
Welcome back to the Firehouse. I'd like to thank my 2 guests, David Barker and Dan Gildea, for being on the show, and Barbara RV for the new Sea-Doo and Sea-Doo Corporation. Also, remember, Fireline is firefighter television. It's produced by off-duty firefighters on their own time. And I would like to say hello to Sandra, Monica, and Margie of Spud Nuts Donuts, who catered our show today. Thank you very much. And remember, Fireline, 6:30, Channel 19, Jones Intercable on Mondays. That's our new time. Tune in.
6 Quad 6, stand by for emergency traffic.
Go ahead for engine 6.
Oxnard engine 6, Quad 6, vessel aground in the surf. Mandalay Beach Road at Whitecap Street. Run card is J4. Switch to the Coast Guard frequency Alpha 21. PD ambulance responded information. Call came through the Coast Guard.
Engine 6 copy, engine 6 responding, switching to Coast Guard frequency. Squad 6 responding, switching to Coast Guard frequency.
Squad 6 responding. Oxnard engine 1, engine 5, Squad 1, Truck 1, Battalion 2. Structure fire at 10156, 10156, C. Charles Street. Cross Street is 3rd Street, run card is B4. RP is advised there's a 2-story residence with smoke showing.